Hello, welcome into First Alert Weather Plus. It's First Alert meteorologist Darius Mack here, giving you guys an update on what is going on. First Alert weather days for today and as well as for Wednesday. And we're watching for gusty winds and heavy rain. That's going to be the main threats with some of these storms that will move through here. Of course, we've seen reports from earlier this morning, flooding going on in Murray County. That was earlier, water rescues, impassable roadways, down trees, power lines. There's been reports of that pretty much even with just some of the strongest storms that we've seen so far across areas as well. Here's a live look outside. We're checking out Franklin to your left. You guys had some rain earlier into the afternoon, or at least later in the morning, early in the afternoon. And then also checking in Nashville, where we also had a few of those showers across parts of the area. Scattered clouds right now. We're in a bit of a lull, so a bit of a break from the rain for now, but we're not entirely out of the woods just yet. Check this out. This is flash flooding, an image shared in Murray County. Of course, that's where we've had reports of flooding. This is on Mount Joy Road, and where you can see the road is really impassable there. Remember the rule, turn around, don't drown. Flooding is the second deadliest weather-related hazard. So the reason behind that is when people try to pass impassable roadways. And also another thing to point out is you don't necessarily know if there's a road there sometimes, in some cases, when you're trying to pass a roadway with flooded water. So just keep that in mind, as that's something to keep in mind of. This is a video shared out from Mount Pleasant. This was shared in from Sam Owens, and there you can see just the floodwaters there, a lot of the rain. And so we got some much needed rainfall this week already, or the last couple of days. The problem is we got so much rain in such a short amount of time, and so the ground's just going to have a hard time taking that in because it's just been so parched. So it's not going to absorb the water very quickly. When you have dry soils, it's just going to create an issue like this, where you see some standing water out there. So that's something that we may even run into tomorrow for your Wednesday. Here's the latest with total rainfall across the area. This is radar estimated rainfall for Murray County, over 5 inches of rainfall. You look towards Marshall County, right around 3 inches of rainfall is what it's estimating there. Towards the Manchester area, close to 5 inches of rainfall. And it's right along the southeast. Those are the areas that have been getting in with the majority of the rain so far this morning. And then over the last 24 hours, generally a good 3/4 upwards to right around 3 inches of rainfall so far across the mid-state. Here's the regional view with radar. So Arkansas, that's an area of greatest concentration today that has the strongest risk for severe storms today. You're looking at southern Missouri. That's an area getting in with a complex of storms. Now, the majority of the mid-state, kind of on the drier side, but you're looking across the southeast towards Bedford County, and then also towards the Manchester area, getting in with some heavy hitting rains. You go towards west middle Tennessee near the Paris area. Strong thunderstorm there so far. Lightning strikes, counting in within this window, right around 7 lightning strikes. So not a lot, but you do have a thunderstorm that is rolling in your way there. And then, of course, across the south into Bedford County, right on top of the Shelbyville area. There's Tullahoma. Now, getting in with some moderate rain so far at the moment. But you see this county. This is Lincoln County, Fayetteville, shaded in the green there. You guys are currently under a flood warning. Getting in with, of course, a lot of that rain out there. And the reason behind that is, of course, with all the rain so far that you've picked up. So our storm threats for today and Wednesday. It's going to be heavy rain. That's going to be the #1 threat that we're watching for. Second on the list, or second, greatest risk we're watching out for is going to be the wind concern. There's been a few strong storms that have brought gusts right around 60 miles per hour. So it's enough to knock down trees and power lines, but not to mention, with areas that have not been getting much rain and then all of a sudden getting in with a lot of this rain, it can create for a top-heavy soil. And so those shallow roots can make it really easy for trees to be uprooted as well. So that's something to keep in mind of with all of this rain moving in at once. There's the rain risk for tomorrow. Let me actually go back to that to show you the rain risk for tomorrow. This does include Tennessee, but also includes Kentucky. It goes all the way from northeast there into, say, there's Pennsylvania, all the way stretches to the southwest into Texas, with that risk for flooding concerns for tomorrow. So our rain chance tomorrow, best rain chance is going to be on Wednesday. It'll drop on Thursday, and then it's going to be drier for us by the weekend. So that's something to look forward to as we go into the coming days. Now, let's walk you by the hour. Here we are now, 2:30. At the top of the hour, we are looking at a few downpours across the west. Again, most of the mid-state, though, pretty dry. So there's going to be a decent dry window before we see more rain moving in. This is suggesting later tonight, another wave of rain moving into the area. A little bit of a break, a little noisy night for some, though. There's Wednesday at 6 a.m. Complex of storms moving in, even mid to late morning, early afternoon window for Wednesday. And with these storms, again, some of these can pack some very strong gusts with them, and even some hail could be embedded with them as well. And then here's later into your Wednesday night. So we're not entirely done. Wednesday night into Thursday morning is when the actual passage of the cold front will move through. So I think that's when we could also still expect some strong storms around that time window later into Wednesday and early into your Thursday. All right, here's your 7-day forecast. We have chances for rain that will be continual. This isn't the updated one here. Let's see here what's going on there. We have some continual rain that is expected through about Thursday morning, and then it will be drier for us as we go later into the week. So we'll have all of the timing on that and all of that more coming up a little bit later. You can join us in WSMV4 News at 3, 4, 5, 6, and then all the way until about later into tonight as well. We'll have your updated look at your forecast coming up a little bit later. Well, thanks for tuning in. WSMV4 First Alert Meteorologist Darius Mack here, and we will keep you guys informed. Be sure to stay dry out there. Download the WSMV4 weather app. It is free, and it is on the App Store as well as your Android devices as well. And the cool thing is that it is free. You can set it follows your location, so whatever the weather's happening, wherever you are, it will still alert you about what's going on. So just be sure to download that so that way you can stay informed. Well, that sums up today's First Alert Weather Plus. Again, First Alert Meteorologist Darius Mack here. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys here coming up a little bit shortly, right around 3 o'clock.